Hello everyone. On the way here, I read a very interesting article from the Guinness Book of World Records. It said that someone had beaten the record under the category World's Best Hide-and-Seek Champion of Hiding. Apparently, this person hid in a game of hide-and-seek that started in 2001 and is still going on to this day. The person in question is Osama bin Laden. No news reports on him lately. And speaking of the news, there are certain things about today's news broadcasting networks that just tick me off. First of all, let's go back to Hurricane Katrina. People running for shelter, looting, barricading their doors and windows, and then the hurricane comes around. We turn on our TVs to the news channel, and what do we see? Some idiot reporter on the scene in a poncho screaming at the top of his lungs about how windy it is. Well, no kidding, it's windy. It's a hurricane. We can see the rain coming down at a 45-degree angle. We can see trains and fences being pulled off the ground. I would like to see one of these morons in the middle of his report being knocked off camera by some huge piece of debris, like a tree or car. After the hurricane blows over, we see people stranded on their roofs, surrounded by water, with no way of reaching land. And what do these news reporters do? They make little film the ever-popular log floating down the water clip over and over and over again, trying to get the best ratings with total disregard for the people who are in need of getting to dry land. Finally, rescue helicopters fly in, no thanks to the jerks at Fox 9, and help them to get much-needed care at a nearby hospital. I like to see these news reporters stranded for hours on end while people poke fun at their condition. We're back in 2008 now, and the Beijing 2008 Olympics haven't started yet. I must admit I am a bit skeptical about the worldwide affair taking place in China. It's just that China is becoming cheaper and cheaper by the minute, and they're importing products containing lethal amounts of lead. I'm not really in a state of mind where I want to trust China at all. I wouldn't be surprised if some national competitors die from overexposure to possible lead traces in things China is providing them, such as the blankets, pillows, the actual bed, the carpeting, the faucet water, or even in the food. Also, I'm not too fond of the concept of placing one of the world's oldest and most important competitions in a communist country. This is mainly because communists have never heard the word competition. They haven't had any motive to get any work done for decades because the local physician makes as much money as the lemonade stand girl down the street does. Now all of a sudden they want to compete with the rest of the world? Something about that doesn't sit right with me. Does this mean that every nation's team gets all gold medals for participating? Here's a suggestion. Why not set the Olympics in its homeland, Rome, where in ancient times the loser was tossed into a lion pit filled with no defenses? You know that the Romans caused many breakthroughs and advances in human knowledge. As history shows, humanity became more artistic in the Renaissance, more knowledgeable on physics in the days of people like Albert Einstein or Thomas Edison, becoming smarter until sometime between the Beatles' invasion of America and the 9/11 incident, when the fabrication of intelligent thought just stopped. What happened? It seems that today humanity is degenerating to a generation of mindless people trapped in a semi-conscious state. There are some things that people do that which they shouldn't do. Should I stick my fingers under the buzzsaw? Or should I stop experimenting and get back to work on my garage? Should I put my wet cat in the microwave? Or should I dry him off with a towel? Should I mix these unknown chemicals? Or should I stop experimenting and get back to work on my garage? It's little obvious things, people. If a Starbucks coffee cup says clearly on the side, warning, contents may be hot, common sense, which isn't so common, tells you not to pour it on your lap.